Hey everyone, George Roddy Jr. I wanted to give you a brief overview on secrets to successful short sales. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes explaining this course and why we think this is a great strategy to learn. Well, let me start off by saying, or let's define what a short sale is or a short sale transaction. A short sale transaction is a transaction in which the lender accepts less than full payoff. Now, short sales are not new. I began my investment career 17 years ago, and about 13, 14 years ago, I first faced a short sale. And here's the situation. I had a homeowner that wanted to sell their house. It was a pre-foreclosure. They had two liens on the property. The first lien, I was willing and able to pay that lien off, but it was the second lien that I didn't have enough money, and I was about to walk. I didn't have enough money to pay both the first and the second off. I was about to walk away when someone told me, look, go to the second lien holder and see if they'd be willing to take less. Well, this was a $30,000 lien, and all I could afford was about $5,000. I mean, that was it. And I didn't think that the second lien holder would do it, and they didn't. Okay, let me be honest. They didn't take $5,000. They took less than $5,000. That's right. They actually took $2,800, less than 10 cents on the dollar. Needless to say, I was blown away, and it really opened up my eyes to the opportunities out there that a lot of investors are passing by. A short sale is when a lender takes less. Why waste your time with short sales? I know that there's a ton of people doing short sales. There's a ton of realtors that are doing short sales, and they basically will push them off like the plague. They don't want to do them, and I actually kind of like doing them, and the reason why is because I build equity. When there's no equity, you're a builder of equity. I've written down a couple things. There's over 100,000 leads each and every year, and these are called pre-foreclosures. These are people that are 30, 60, 90, maybe even 180 days behind on their mortgages. There's a ton of leads out there, and most of these people don't have any equity, and they don't have many options. You're basically presenting them a way to sell their house where they don't have to come out of pocket any money. Now that's music to a lot of people's ears. Number 3 is banks don't want to own. I like the fact that the bank doesn't want to own real estate. They'd rather work with me because they're mitigating their losses. Look, if the house is in poor shape and it's upside down, they might as well take a loss now versus taking a loss 4 to 6 to 8 months later after the realtors valuation was wrong and the market, they basically sell it for the same price I was offering, maybe a little bit more, because obviously I'm an investor and I'm going to be making offers far less than fair market price. Let's go over the short sale outline. Number 1 is 3 ways to find short sale leads. We're going to give you those. We're going to show you how to find these leads. Number 2 is Texas specific rules and regulation. I know you can do short sales anywhere, right? But Texas is a little different than Oklahoma and Florida and Ohio and California. There's different rules. Yes, these lenders are nationwide, but there are specific rules for every state. Number 3 is 4 options available to homeowners. Yes, they do have options. Yes, I explain, I communicate with them their options. And a lot of times, they decide on their own. I basically lay it out in front of them, and then they decide. Walking away without having to come to closing with a bunch of money versus foreclosure is the route they'd like to go. Number 4 is which liens suffocate the short sale process. Okay, when I'm trying to discount certain liens, once I come across these liens, I basically cut ties, move on to the next deal. Number 5 is the 9-step process. From 1 to 9, do not skip. Do not go from 2 to 5 or you will mess it up. We're going to lay out the 9-step process. Number 6 is the VA, FHA conventional guidelines. Just understand what we're working with, that there's certain percentages that depending on what the value of the house comes in at, they're only going to take 10 to 20% off that number. Number 7 is how to negotiate with second lien holders. I mentioned that before in the beginning. Questions asked to qualify the homeowner. Look, if the homeowner ain't going to play by the rules, if they're not going to, and I don't want to seem mean, but if they're not going to do what we say, there's no point in moving forward with this deal. It's what's called, they're time wasters. There's certain questions that I ask. There's certain documents I require them to sign before I move forward. And number 9 is the financial statement program. Just getting all the documents. It's important. The biggest thing is not having all the documents that the bank wants. That is one of the biggest factors in unsuccessful short sales. Number 10 is how to submit your offers. Number 11 is successful BPOs, broker price opinions. You've got a guy or a gal that's gone out and is going to evaluate the property. I don't know how many times they've rehabbed properties. I don't know if they have a clear understanding of how bad this property really is or the current situation. We need to do everything in our power to influence and educate the agent or the appraiser that comes out there. Number 12 is how to find qualified buyers in days for your short sale listings. Actually, that should be 12. Now 14. I messed up on my PowerPoint. 14, which is really 13. How to fill out a net sheet for the short sale transactions. Number 15 is effective short sale case studies. I'll give you real life case studies that I've done and my students have done. And number 16 is how to duplicate this system over and over. What do you get? First off, you get the 40-page manual. Okay, that's your how-to instructional guide. 2 hours of instruction from me walking through each step and landmines and pitfalls and profit centers. Then you got the document library. You got to have all of the documents, the forms, the scripts, the disclosures, the financial worksheets. Then the marketing pieces. How do we go and try to capture these people? How do we drive them to our phone number, to our website, to our address? Guys, that's it. That's my overview of the secrets to successful short sales. I hope this has been educational. Do me a favor, click on the link below to get started today, and I will see you soon. Thanks. This is George Roddy.